were directly involved in torpedoing. Perhaps it was the finest plane of its time ever made in the world. When HF-24 came out, with Kurt Tank, the great Kurt Tank, designer of the Focke-Wulf warplanes for the Nazi Luftwaffe, especially his jet aircraft, the 106, the Focke-Wulf 106, and he came and built the Bharat HF-24. And he trained a whole generation of Indian designers, starting with Dr. Khatke Patil. The last of those designers is the one I liaised with. I have on record saying that the Bharat HF-24 Mark II was killed by the Indian Air Force. So you have these short-sighted, myopic service chiefs who let it happen. We cannot blame anybody else for the straits we are in. We have to take our responsibility on our shoulders, because we are primarily responsible for now upkeeping a whole host of defense industries, starting with Israel, Russian, French, and now American want to also get on board, want to put their hands into our pockets. Anyway, the point is that in Air Force terms, then the MMRCA 200 to 300 MMRCA, 300 FGFA, we'll have 100 of the Mirage 2000s still operating. It's a good aircraft, multi-role. We'll have another 100 of the Jaguars and the low-level strike aircraft. It's going to be upgraded. The fleet of Jaguars are going to be upgraded with new land attack systems and so on and so forth. By 2013, that schedule has been pushed back a bit. As everything else, there's a time delay in getting a constellation of satellites on board, so we get our own GPS. So unless we get that, we have no security of targeting, certainty and accuracy. So once we get that on board, we have about 6-7 satellites now. But purely military terms, these have to be linked up with purely military satellites to give you the footprint, again, all the way from the Mediterranean coast of Israel to well into China, South China Sea. I've also been advocating that we now set up our flotilla presence in Nha Trang. Just go to Vietnam, central Vietnam coast, right on the edge of South China Sea. It has been now given to the Indian Navy to use. Nha Trang is on the central Vietnamese coast of South China Sea. Yeah, just go to and you'll see how important it is. N-H-A-T-R-A-N-G, Nha Trang. Yeah, there you are. Nha Trang, there. No,
N-A-T-H?
N-H-A, one word, next word, T-R-A-N-G, Nha Trang. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. This is the base now offered India. Cambran Bay was offered to India in 1992. The Indian Navy did not pick it up, and the government of India did not pick it up. I mean, if you had Cambran Bay, that's the finest deep water port in all Asia. After Trincomalee, you have Trincomalee. But Nha Trang is extraordinarily now important, and the Vietnamese have chosen it very well indeed, placing that's what's been offered us. Because it is virtually line of sight to Hainan Island. Just look up, draw a line, and you're getting into Hainan. Virtually line of sight. Virtually, right there, that's Hainan. So you're on line of sight to Nha Trang. What that means essentially is we can get telemetry readings and stuff. We won't set things up for anything they might have. That's a big James Bondian submarine base at Hainan, underwater. The submarines come in underwater into the rocky cliffs and so on. So they cannot be tracked. That's what they think. Except the South China Sea is not the Indian Ocean. So they do not have the thermal layers that we have, where submarines can hide. At 20 feet depths, 50 feet depths, the thermal layer changes. It's damn difficult for sonar to pick up.
Shallow water.
No, not shallow water. Not shallow, the thermal layers that distort sonar waves.
Ocean depths are not much.
Yeah. But the point to make is here is that if we have a line of sight on Hainan, we then really can make a heap of trouble for the Chinese, especially with the ASW frigates, multi-purpose frigates we have, the Talwar class that we have, and these are very excellent ships. we've got some very good sonar developed by Dr. The Stanford professor, the Indian guy, Raj. The name, he's on the Stanford faculty. He was in the Indian Navy Commodore, and then he went to Stanford as an engineering, and he's the one who developed the Indian indigenous sonar, which is very, very good. And that's what equips most of our battleships and so on. And then we have the Israelis helping, in fact, we are helping the Israelis in naval matters. The point then is that if we have the drop on Hainan, it really hinders movement for the Chinese PLA Navy as they call it, fleet, no matter what they do. If that's the main submarine fleet, and I think the South China fleet, the southern fleet, the planned South fleet, the southern fleet is actually as powerful as the eastern fleet. The northern fleet. Northern fleet is based out of Harbin, and that goes there. So the southern fleet of the Chinese Navy is getting to be more powerful. As powerful as the northern. And in time I think it will be more powerful than the northern fleet, depending on what the Chinese priorities are and what they believe will happen. We'll have, again, going to the Air Force in terms of pure sustainability, we'll have something like 18 refuelers on track, major refuelers, so we can have our fighters on board on combat air patrol anywhere, whether, especially if you base them out of the Car Nicobar, then you have a tremendous reach into South China Sea. So you can sustain a sortie out of the Car Nicobar. Then you have about 15 AVACs. We're going to get 15 AVACs with the major Falcon array, phased array systems. That again means tremendous battle management, aerial battle management capability. Chinese have it, but they operationally they are not as up to par with the Indian Navy, certainly, because our navies exercise with the best navies of the world and have gained considerable respect of these navies because of the professionalism and so on and so forth. Now the Chinese have the platforms, but may not have the seagoing competence. There's a difference. You can have an aircraft carrier. To integrate an aircraft carrier into fleet operations is a very arduous task. It's not a joke. To have fleet operations, aircraft coming in, keeping in touch with carriers. I mean, pilots just simply miss out on carriers. You fly and you can't see your carrier. You're running out of fuel. What do? You ditch. The whole aircraft is gone. And that's what the Chinese are going to find. It's going to happen. Therefore, they keep very close with a visual sight of carriers. And that's what the plan is. So in other words, for the next 30 years, we have a free pass. It'll take them about 30 years to integrate their carriers. So no need to get all spooked, carrier. It means nothing very much. You just have a boat, a platform. But do you plan to use it? Can you use it competently to provide opposition to an adversary? Or professional kind of, it's USN, Indian Navy or something. I doubt it. And naval colleagues who are naval professionals agree with that assessment. I asked them, how long did the Indian Navy take to integrate the Vikrant? As a reasonable criteria to judge how far, how long it might take the Chinese Navy. And therefore, on that basis, I think we have a pass for 25 to 30 years now, before they begin becoming credible adversary, naval adversary. So within the next 30 years, we have to ensure that our capability is such that they still can't get past Malacca and the Lombok and the Sunda Straits. Now, coming to the Army. Our Army is the senior service, and I'm afraid, like landlubbers, they have their strategic vision is hampered by their wherewithal and capability. One more thing I should add. Let me just add that after I get to the Army's thing. We have 3 strike corps vis-a-vis Pakistan. That is, in substantive terms, some 3,500 tanks. That is a huge inventory of tanks. It's a Second World War kind of force structure. It's not the wars of the future. Tanks are big, wretched things, that light up the radar, and you can kill the damn things from beyond visual sight. Weapons these days. They're useless, worse than useless. And I've been pleading with them since I was advisor of defense expenditure to the 10th Finance Commission, and I gave a classified report in 1995 to the national government. I said, just get rid of 3 strike corps, consolidate it into 1 strike corps with independent armored brigades, whatever number. You can discuss the number, but the idea is that in case Pakistan acts up, what do you need to stymie the Pakistani advance? That's all you need. And then put the money into developing offensive mountain warfare divisions. After great pressures like this, the government finally decided, Army finally decided, yes, we need to build a mountain divisions for offensive warfare, and they have, as you know, raised 2 divisions for so-called offensive warfare, and 2 more under racing. But for